So in this case, we are in section 2.5, which is literal equations. And literal equations, it's a little bit more complicated than the regular multi-step equations, because in this case, we are dealing with more than one variable. So in this case, I'm going to tell you for which variable we are going to solve, and then you're going to work from there. Now, what I'm going to start with this problem is in your textbook. Remember, we are going to be using your Algebra 1. I've been putting those as a Google Classroom. So I'm going to start with problem number 2. This is problem number 12 in page 112 in your section 2.5. So the problem says 2y plus 4x equals to 8. The problem doesn't says solve for x. The problem starts with solve for each equation for y. So we're going to solve for y. Now, as you can see, we have two variables, y and x. Every time I'm going to tell you for which variable you are going to solve. In this case, from problem 11 to problem 218, they are asking you to solve for y, the variable y, and then we're going to evaluate to the values of x, in this case, -2, 1, and 3. So let me start in this case. Remember that I'm asking you to solve for y. We're going to solve for y. That means I'm going to cover my variable, and I'm going to get rid of for x. If I have addition, I'm going to use subtraction to move 4x to the right. So minus 4x minus 4x. This 4x goes away. So 2y is equals to 8 minus 4x. Okay, we're not done because y got 2 multiplying, so we need to move 2. 2 is multiplying, so we are going to use division. Division to remove 2, and we're going to do it on both sides. Remember the golden rule of equations. Whatever you do in one side, you do it on the other side. So in this case, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we said we cancel out. So y is equals to, now we can simplify here. As you can see, 2 is dividing these two numbers. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Minus 4 divided by 2 is 2x. So my equation just went from 2y plus 4x equals 8 to y equals to 4 minus 2x. What is my next step? Is making substitution. So now I'm going to ask when x is equals to -2. Now I'm giving a value to my variable x. So I have y equals to 4 minus 2 times -2. So y is equals to 4. Negative and negative is positive. 2 times 2 is 4. So y is equals to 8. That's the first value that I have in problem number 12 is y equals 8. Now I'm going to do x equals to 1 here. In this case, I'm going to have y equals to 4 minus 2x, but my x now is 1. So this is equals to 4. -2 times 1 is -2, and 4 minus 2 is 2. So y is equals to 2. And we're going to do the last one. I have 3. So I'm going to do it here. X equals 3. I'm going to draw a line here so it doesn't get confused with this one. So I have y equals to 4 minus 2 times 3. So this is equals to 4. -2 times 3 is -6. And 4 minus 6. 6 is bigger than 4 and is negative. So my solution is going to be -2. So that's my solution. When x equals negative 2, y is 8. When x is equals to 1, y is 2. And when x equals to 3, y is negative 2. And we're going to see those ones later in the next chapters. So what is next? The next example that I have, I'm going to erase here. I'm going to do now number 14. Remember that you have an assignment. Number 14 says solve for y always. And I have 14. And 14 is 4x equals to 3y minus 7. And the values to evaluate are x equals to 4, 5, and 6. Those are the values that we're going to evaluate. So in this case, I'm solving for y means I need to move, or I move this 7 to the left. Let me move this 7 to the left. Remember, if I'm solving for y, I always said cover your variable. So you have 7, so I'm going to do plus 7, the opposite operation. Okay, then we cancel out the 7. I have 4x plus 7. They are not like terms. They are not similar. So I have 4x plus 7 is equals to 3y. Okay, now 3 is multiplying. So we're going to send it to divide. We're going to divide both sides of the equation. And 3 goes away. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So you have that 4x plus 7 over 3 is equals to y. Commutative property, you can switch those terms. So you have y is equals to 4x plus 7 over 3. Now we're going to evaluate. Let's evaluate. In this case, we have that x is equals to 4. So x, I'm going to do it here. So x equals to 4. That means y is equals to 4 times 4 plus 7 over 3. So we have 4 times 4 is 16. So this is equals to 16 plus 7 over 3. And 16 plus 7 is equals to 23 over 3. Now, the next question that you ask, can you simplify these two values? So 23 is not divisible by 3, so you cannot simplify. So what else? I have x equals 5. Let me see if I have a space here. X equals 5. So I have y equals to 4 times 5 plus 7 over 3. So I have this is equals to 4 times 5 is equals to 20 plus 7 over 3 equals to 20 plus 7, 27 over 3. I can simplify that fraction. 27 is divisible by 3, and 27 divided by 3 is equals to 9. So my second value here, y. So the first one is 23 over 3. The second one is y equals 9. Let's do the third one. The third one in this case, I'm going to raise this one. So the third one, I have y, x equals to 6. Y equals to, have 4 times 6 plus 7 over 3. 4 times 6 is 24. So we have equals to 24 plus 7 over 3. 24 plus 7 is equals to 31 over 3. We cannot simplify that expression, and we're going to leave it this way. So far, last example, problem number 14 in page number 112 in your Algebra 1 for this class. So I'm going to raise, and we're going to do the next one. So the next problem that I have, give me one moment. I need to, the next problem. Solve each equation for the given variable. So now they're asking me to solve each equation for the given variable. So now we can have formulas to solve. And this one is in page 100. This is 112. So it will be in page 113. So 113 in Algebra 1. So we have solved each equation for the given variable. So I'm going to do problem number 36. So I have 2m minus nx equals 2 x plus 4, 4x. When I said 4x means the variable that I'm going to solve for. The variable that I'm going to solve for, in this case, solve for x. So what I'm going to have, okay, we need to evaluate the equation. So I have 2m minus nx equals to x plus 4. I'm going to start, in this case, moving 4 to the left. So again, focus what you're doing. You are solving for x. So minus 4. And I'm going to type here minus 4 plus this expression. So this 4 goes away. So I have minus 4 plus 2m minus nx equals to x. Okay, next, I have this term, negative nx in the left. So remember that I'm solving for x. So I need to move this nx to the right side. And then I'm going to explain why. So I have negative nx is subtracting, so I'm going to use addition. Cross out, so I have minus, or I'm going to switch this one's 2m minus 4 equals to x plus nx. What I'm going to do next, remember, always keep on track. You're solving for x. You're solving for x. But you have 2. What we're going to do, common factor. We're going to factorize by common factor in this case. So in this case, I'm going to have 2m minus 4 equals 2. The common factor, common, is x. So I'm going to get it out of this expression. So I'm going to have x. You open parentheses, as you learned last year. And remember that if you don't have a number different than 1, then it's 1 plus n. How do I know it's correct? If you apply the distributive property, x times 1 is x, x times n is nx. Now what I'm going to do, I need to solve for n. Hey, I need to solve for x, and x is multiplying this expression. So we're going to use division to move it to the other side. So we're going to divide 1 plus n, 1 plus n. And this one is 1, means cancel out, which is what we say. And I have 2m minus 4 over 1 plus n equals to x. And that's what they are asking me to do. So now I have my solution. It is 2m minus 4 over 1 plus n. And that's your solution for problem number 36. And in this case, what we did, factorize. okay? Common factor, and then distributive property, just to prove that we did that operation correct. Okay, so I'm going to work in the next problem. So what I have next, I'm going to solve problem 39, page 113 is 39, and it says B equals to 1/3 pi r squared times h, and we're going to do for h. And just give me one moment. I need to see something here in the computer. Okay, so the next problem is a formula of the volume. It's a volume formula. So I have 1/3 pi radius squared times h. So again, we are solving for h, so you cover your h. And in this case, I'm going to start step by step. I have 1/3, it's a fraction. And as we learned in previous section, it was a 2.1, I think, and a one-step equation. When we had these fractions, we multiply both sides of the equation by the number that is in the denominator. So in this case, I'm going to multiply times 3. So this one goes away. So I have 3b is equals to pi radius squared times h. Remember that we are solving for h. H is my variable to solve. And all this expression is a multiplication. So if we are multiplying, we're going to use division to move all these terms to the left side. So we're going to divide pi radius squared over pi radius squared. So these two goes away. So I have 3b over pi radius squared equals to h. And that will be my solution. Make sure we need to see if we cannot simplify expressions. We cannot. So that will be my solution, problem number 39. And we are done with this one, 39. That's it. Well, one more. Let's do one more. Let me erase this one because I don't have a space in the other one. 1, 2. Next problem I'm going to solve is problem number 41. Page 113 of section 2.5, which is the solving literal equations and formulas. So I have 2 parentheses x plus a equals to 4b 4a. So we are solving for the variable a. A is my variable to solve. Okay, so I have this expression 2 parentheses x plus a equals to 4b. Always keep an eye, which variable are we solving for? A. So what I'm thinking in this case is get rid of these 2. The first thing is, here what it came to my mind is apply distributive property first. That's an option. But in this case, if I divide both sides of the equation, I can move these 2 to the right side and then simplifying with 4, which will make things a little bit easier. And I think will give me less steps. So let's try. So we're going to divide by 2. I'm not saying that if you apply distributive property, you're not going to be able to solve it. Yes, you can. It's going to be the same. But let's give it a try this way. So we divide by 2. So these 2 goes away. Okay, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So what I have now, x plus a is equals to 4 divided by 2 is 2b. Okay, remember what we are doing. We are solving for the variable a. So you have x. X is positive, so we're going to use the opposite. So minus x minus x. I'm going to write it here because we're used to write this one underneath, but these two are not like terms. So we're going to put 1 next to each other. So these 2 goes away. So I have that a is equals to 2b minus x. And with that, as you can see, there is no number next to a. There is no negative, so we are done. We have that a isolated. So this is my solution for problem number 41 in your algebra book. So please make sure if you have any question, email me or leave a comment in Google Classroom. And I will see you next week. I hope you have a wonderful time and weekend.